Hello everyone, my name is Abby Mesa. I am 25 years old. Well, when I was 21, I lost a lot of stuff. I lost my apartment. My other half left me. I was in love with this guy. My dog died a day before my car accident. I ended up being in a wheelchair after my car accident, so I became really heavily on drugs. All this happened within 2 months. It was too much for me to handle, and so I just kept using drugs because that was my way of coping with things. So it was really, really hard for me to overcome all that. In 2016, I committed my first crime, and I was charged with burglary, F6. I was going through the whole court process, and then a few months after, in August, I was charged again. So I spent another 2 months in there, begged my attorney to get me out of there. Because I was I'm fine, I don't need help, I can handle myself. And they did, they believed me. I didn't really trust myself out there. They didn't drug test me or anything like that, so I was I have the freedom, so I continued to use drugs. And then a week and a half later, I got caught for another charge. For all my charges that I committed, I was under the influence, multiple drugs. I was released after 10 months and sentenced. To me, it was hard, the time in there. Not because the lifestyle, because you get used to it. You get used to sleeping around a bunch of women in a really flat mattress, no pillow, super thin blankets, one hot meal and a cold meal, same food every day. And exposing yourself, showering in front of women with no privacy. There was no privacy in there. My family tried to help me, so I had to manage on my own in there. I got out. I thought I was ready, but I really wasn't. People would tell me, with your felonies, you won't be able to do this. You won't be able to go to school. And I had plans of going to school. You won't be able to work in these jobs. There was so much negativity, and I ended up believing everything they said to me. And I met Felix at my old job, and he told me, hey, ACYR is looking for someone that like you. And I was what do you mean? He's yeah, they want someone that has a background, because it would be perfect for the position. I was that's amazing. And then they could help you with your career, jobs. I came to ACYR 101, and they had me fill out my application, some basic information, and then just things kept progressing and getting better. ACYR knew that I was out of the system and that I was seeking a job, so they carved out a job for me and made sure that I had employment, and they basically were kind of like my guardian angels. WACS is a work experience, kind of like an internship, which they had never done, which was for outreach. And so they thought, we'll create one for outreach, so she can have employment, because the grant only offered 8 hours. The grant is the one that I was mentioned to work for by Felix, which required 2 outreach specialists that would focus on getting youth that were just as involved, so we can get them all the benefits that the program offered. And so they came up with that position, and that became my work experience. And that was through Workforce. So I was eligible for 200 hours. And then they extended the hours because they saw that I needed, and they also wanted to continue to work with me. And so my WACS, even though it recently ended, they've talked about offering me a position here at ACYR. And what would that position be? That would be also in the outreach team. That would be part of the outreach. They recruit people into the organization. My role specifically, if I were to be hired, would be to run 101, which is the one that I just explained to you, where I would do the application for them, the college and career blueprint, and also test them. So test them. And then for the program, I don't know, I feel I'm all over the place.
Let's pause for a second.
Yeah.
So, let's take so far her story and where we have the article. I feel like we're missing something right now. No, not missing. You're at the point. I don't know what's next. Is my point.
So
So we talked about
so
the past.
you didn't talk about getting your fingerprint clearance card. I think that's a huge.
Yeah.
I think that's a huge piece.
And then the other one was just offer.
Okay, thank you. ACYR also helped me with getting my fingerprint clearance card, which to me was something that I never expected of getting. A lot of people told me that it was impossible to have it because of my record. It was a process. I collected 14 letters. I waited months. I waited from August all the way to January, and it was like a huge relief because I needed it in order to work here at ACYR properly without being supervised. I couldn't do anything without being supervised, so I was very limited to what I had to do. So after getting that card, it was very easy for me to approach youth and do more with youth, and meaning like doing presentations. I'm saying this to say because I was in the Justice Involved Youth Program. I was in charge of it, and what I had to do was bring in youth, and part of that was to help them and help them understand that we don't just help them pay some other fines, but at the end of the program, I felt that every youth went from I'm hopeless or I'm angry at the system, I don't know what to do, to I'm gonna do this, like I can do it. And so I felt great knowing that even though the youth didn't get all their fines paid off, they were motivated themselves to find means to pay on their own. Like they felt that even though we helped them, they knew that they could help themselves too, because they felt so helpless when I met them. And so this program has helped so many youth, and I have great faith that it's going to continue to help them, because most of them co-enrolled, and they saw that ACYR not just helped justice involved youth that went through the system, but they also had all these benefits, like from a high school to DRP, so dropout recovery programs, to workforce that can help them with their career. So they all co-enrolled and actually love the organization, and they're going to continue to come here, even though, sorry, let's not put that there.
It's okay, go ahead.
So they will continue to come because they see the benefits and services that ACYR offers them, and I see them myself too, and that's why I continue to recruit and I continue to encourage youth to be part of ACYR, because it's a great organization.
Perfect.
I don't know.
Here, I want you to say something, and I think I want to weave it somewhere after she tells her story about before she met ACYR, somewhere during that transition.
Yeah.
And it's I want you to say ACYR helped build a pathway to success for me. I don't just have a job. I'm building a career. Something to that effect. Okay. A pathway to success.
So ACYR didn't just help me with the job, they opened a pathway for success. I don't look at my career as a job. They're helping me have a views of like, this is a career for me. I can do much more. And so I also was one of those youth that was hopeless. One of those youth that I couldn't do anything, and now I want to eat the world. Like I believe that I can. They actually had offered me a year and a half to 375 and in prison. I was gonna take it, but if I would have taken that, my status here in the United States would have gone to the trash. Because they said they had this law that if you had like 3 felonies on your record, that they usually have the right to take away your residence card or whatever kind of documents. It was rumored, and so I believed that, but I still was willing to take the plea because I was like, I just want to go to prison. Like I don't want to be in jail anymore. So, but yeah, that was about to happen. My family was scared, so they're like, no. They hired an attorney, and we're like, hey, like we're gonna get you out of there. So that's why I was out in 8 months rather than a year or more, because they hired an attorney.
And so you have your citizen?
I have my permanent residence card.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was about to expire too, a few months before I was released.
Did you get
I got it. Yeah, I was shocked. They renewed it. I was like, this is a miracle, because I thought they were gonna ask me for all this stuff, like charges, and have me go through attorneys and stuff like that. But I got it right away, and I was like, this is a miracle because this shouldn't have happened. Yeah.
What do we need anything else from her right now, do you think?
No, I mean, that's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But you got the short version in your head?
I have the short version in my head, and that's the harder version. The longer version is the easier.
I think it's the intro to, like, the intro, talk about 10 months, talk about she gets out, she go meet Alex, introduce her to ACYR.
You mean Felix? You call it Alex. I don't know.
Felix. And then we talk about a couple of programs with the graphics, because the graphics, you